when the Jena mathematician and physicist Ernst Abbe formulated his pioneering theory of optical image formation back in 1871 and later became a partner of Carl Zeiss, he also became an entrepreneur. This was followed by years of construction and expansion in which Abbe, together with Otto Schott and Carl Zeiss, founded a glass laboratory. He gradually evolved his own corporate philosophy founded on scientific progress, qualified employees, and responsible corporate governance as the basis of business success. Abbe aimed to secure the success of the two flourishing companies over the long term, unhindered by personal ownership interests. This prompted him to create the Carl Zeiss Foundation on May 19, 1889, in honor of his deceased partner. Ernst Abbe, the Zeiss-Herr Roderich Zeiss, and some years later Otto Schott transferred all their shares in the business to the foundation. This made the foundation the sole owner of the two companies. In 1896, Abbe created a statute in which he stipulated the goals and objectives of the foundation and defined the rights of its employees. The profit generated by the two companies was to be used for investments in their future and in social benefits for their employees. The remaining income was to be used to promote science at the University of Jena and for social and cultural institutions. Ernst Abbe's statute is one of the most outstanding documents in German economic and social history. His corporate constitution is focused on people and the community on a lasting basis. These guidelines have remained essentially unchanged to this very day. Abbe was far ahead of his times. From the 8-hour working day to a company pension, the employee rights he introduced were unique for the period in which he lived. However, he was not interested in charitable deeds, but in legal security. This was nothing short of revolutionary for many of his contemporaries. Society also benefited from the Carl Zeiss Foundation. Top priority was given to the promotion of science at the University of Jena, with which both companies closely collaborated in their research and development activities. Outside the university, funds from the foundation also enabled the setup of many social facilities for Jena's rapidly growing population. Funding of this magnitude was only possible because the two companies generated outstanding earnings. Around 1890, Zeiss and Schott became established as global market leaders in the fields of microscopes and optical glass. With the setup of new business divisions and increasing high-volume production, the two companies developed into large industrial enterprises. Zeiss and Schott have had an international focus right from day one. The first sales branches were founded outside Germany at an early stage. The two companies, and therefore also the foundation, survived the First World War and the world economic crisis with relative success. However, the Second World War and its consequences were to shake both companies to the core. After their rise to power, the National Socialists gradually integrated the foundation and its companies into their economic regime despite initial resistance. As a manufacturer of products important to the war cause, the companies were targeted by Allied air raids. During the war, foreign workers, war prisoners, and forced laborers were employed. American troops marched into Jena in April 1945. When withdrawing from Thuringia in June 1945, the Americans took leading employees and important documents with them to the west. The Soviet occupying forces dismantled major parts of the Jena factories. The expropriation of the Jena companies and their conversion into state-controlled enterprises meant that the Carl Zeiss Foundation in Jena lost the very basis of its existence.
Und wir hatten nur das, was wir in den Köpfen hatten. Aber das, meine Damen und Herren, dieses geistige Kapital, das ist das Entscheidende.
Soon afterwards, in 1946, work started on the building of an optics factory in Oberkochen and, in 1952, of glassworks in Mainz.
Mit über 9 Millionen Mark, zum größten Teil aus Marshallplanmitteln, entstand in Mainz ein neues, leistungsfähiges Werk der berühmten Jenaer Glaswerke. Das in der Ostzone liegende Stammhaus des Unternehmens wurde von der ostzonalen Regierung enteignet. Das neue Mainzer Werk kann nun wieder die gesamte optische Industrie Deutschlands beliefern und seine großen Exportaufträge erfüllen.
The increased political contention triggered by the Cold War made East-West collaboration impossible. The Foundation's headquarters were transferred to Heidenheim as early as 1949. This resulted in 2 Carl Zeiss Foundations in 2 German states.
In wenigen Werken von Weltsichtbarkeit ist so das deutsche Schicksal markiert wie in diesem Zeiss-Werk.
In the West, the most important social benefits stipulated by the Foundation statute were soon implemented again, but there was no promotion of science and no support of non-profit institutions. The expropriated foundation in Jena focused solely on social and cultural projects. Within just a few years, both companies became the technology leaders in optics and the special glass industry in their respective economic systems. From 1954 onwards, the foundations in the East and West fought bitter legal battles to settle who had the right to use the company names and world-famous trademarks. It took decades for an agreement to be reached. During this time, the Apollo 11 mission landed on the Moon. The world's fastest lens, the 50mm planner from Zeiss, produced with optical glass from Schott, captured breathtaking images of this historic event.
Kurz gesagt, ihr seid gut gerüstet, den Anforderungen gerecht zu werden, die sich aus der ökonomischen Strategie unserer Partei mit dem Blick auf das Jahr 2000 herleiten.
For more than 4 decades, the Carl Zeiss Foundation remained a mirror image of the profoundly different political and economic systems. When the Berlin Wall fell on November 9, 1989, the end of the German Democratic Republic was already in sight. In 1990, the companies declared that they will strive to merge into one Carl Zeiss Foundation. A truly difficult undertaking. 2 mid-sized groups of companies in the West with over 30,000 employees worldwide, and the showcase conglomerate of Carl Zeiss companies in Jena with a workforce of around 30,000. How could these possibly be merged? Step by step, Zeiss Oberkochen and Schott Mainz acquired the business shares in their reprivatized parent enterprises in Jena. The reunification of the Carl Zeiss Foundation and its companies was a success, but only after some painful compromises and bitter disputes between Jena, Oberkochen and Mainz.
Die Arbeiterinnen und Arbeiter haben zur spontanen Selbsthilfe gegriffen und das Tor besetzt, die Werkleitung zu einem Gespräch zu zwingen.
At long last, the way was cleared for a renaissance of Ernst Abbe's foundation idea. The fundamental reform of the foundation implemented in 2004 adapted its structure and that of its member companies to the modern global economy. The spirit of the foundation and the principles of Ernst Abbe remained intact. The greater entrepreneurial freedom quickly increased the economic success of the 2 foundation companies. And the higher the equity of the companies, the higher the dividend they pay into the foundation becomes. This is a stipulation of the new statute. These funds enable the Carl Zeiss Foundation to fully implement its core objective: Since 2006, it has been sponsoring doctoral and postdoctoral students and junior professors at universities in the regions where its member companies are based. These certified funding programs are supplemented by the financing of foundation professorships, by enabling successful up-and-coming scientists to return to Germany from abroad, and by awarding scholarships to talented students in Germany. The Carl Zeiss Foundation sees the promotion of young scientists and research in innovative fields of science as an important investment in the future. All true to the spirit of Ernst Abbe, who already recognized this need over 125 years ago, and who, with vision and foresight, laid a foundation which has ensured that his wishes can still be implemented to this very day.